Hey guys, so it's our second day in Marrakesh and look at those blue skies. So good morning, it's a beautiful day in Marrakesh, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, it looks absolutely gorgeous. So first things first, it's time to have some breakfast and look at that freshly squeezed orange juice. After breakfast, Tig and me made our way through the main square, hoping to go on a horse ride. It's a different vibe in the morning, but it's still kind of crazy. So there's quite a queue for the ATM, which we've just gone to now, and we're hoping to get a horse ride to Menara Gardens. The horses are usually found gathered here, and after a few minutes we fixed a price and our horse arrived. We hopped inside our cart and were off, heading towards Menara Gardens. So we're en route to Menara Gardens. It's a 43-minute walk from the main Madina to the gardens. It's going to cost around 20 quid to get up there. They do offer like there and back sort of full tour thing for 500, but I don't want to pay that much money, and I'm happy with the horse ride, to be honest. I probably could have got it a bit lower, but I'm happy to pay the 20 quid because it's a long way for horse to travel, so I want to make it a bit worth the rider and the horse's time, you know what I mean? It's so nice, you can see the orange trees hanging around here, it's so pretty, it's such a nice little area. You start to leave Madina and everything, you can kind of get more of an essence of Morocco, like. So we just had the horse ride, and though the ride was nice, I'm a bit uncomfortable about the situation with the horses. I had this idea that they come up here, refuel, have some water for themselves, then they make their way back to the Madina, but the reality is he just stopped us here on the road. I said, what about the horses, what about the water for the horses? He said, yeah, they'll have it. And I was like thinking, well, they need it now because it's like, it's such a hot day and they've been, you know, riding for 20 minutes in the heat. I think a lot of tourists would feel how I feel and feel a bit uncomfortable seeing these lovely animals like working so hard in the heat with no water. Yeah, it's okay for them to kind of go up and down and work and stuff like that, but let them have a break. They've earned it. Let them have a break, let them have some water, let them just relax in the shade for a little bit. I just think that would just be such a better way to do it, really. But anyway, hope they get some water and get to rest a bit, because that's not good otherwise. This little dog was definitely enjoying the shade.
We have some bread for the fishes. Look at this tear of the bread.
These fish are loving the bread and they're so huge. So the depth of the water here is 4 meters. It's a lovely little spot just to chill out, but we are really exposed to the elements here. There's no shade. So if you're like us, pasty pantsers, then you might want to come earlier in the day so as not to get absolutely burnt.
So Menara means minaret or lighthouse or beacon, and that's what the little tower in the middle is supposed to represent. And the water you see here all comes from the Atlas Mountains, which you can actually see behind the minaret in the distance. So people come here to get really dramatic photos when the lighting is perfect. And it's surrounded by olive trees as well. It's a really nice park.
Olives are a big thing here in Morocco, and this olive grove was the perfect place to get some shade. I'm totally not hiding under an olive tree getting the shade at all. I wouldn't do that. Honestly, like I'm so dying in the heat. I'm just like, I'm looking at the trees. I thought how lovely and how shady they are as well. So yeah, I'm going to check out that little minaret as well in a minute. But it's lovely getting the shade, I'll tell you that much. So we made our way to the pavilion, hoping to get some nice views of the Atlas Mountains from the top. We're going to leave Menara Gardens now. You get a lovely view from this balcony of the pool behind me, and it's just so peaceful and chilled. It does cost 50 dirham to come in each for tourists, and I think it used to be free, but never mind. That's about £4.50, something like that each. If you want to take some photos, it's definitely worth it. Otherwise, I wouldn't bother. But it's a nice welcome break, a nice bit of shade in the hot sun. So I love the view as well. We weren't quite ready to go back to Medina yet, so decided to get some ice cream and a nice cold drink. So we couldn't resist, we decided we'd get an ice cream for ourselves in this heat. It's definitely much needed, and just relax in the peaceful environment. It's so nice. We've got a nice shelter here. Didn't tell you guys, but yesterday when we were out with Pete and Dan, a bird came and suddenly, like, we were just minding our business under this big bang, and it was a pile of bird shit. It just dropped out of the sky. Thankfully didn't hit any of us on the head, but it was very close. So now I'm being a bit more dubious. I'll make sure we've got a parasol to make sure we don't get coated in poo. The hunter-gatherer has returned.
We have a mint chocolate one and a strawberry one.
Oh, lovely. And how much were they?
They were 20 dirhams each.
Oh, this is the way to be, isn't it? A nice ice cream. It's white chocolate on the outside and strawberry in the middle. So guys, as you can see, the mosque is right in front of us. Honestly, you can go from so many points. It's like such a central location, that mosque. Everything's almost built around it, which probably was actually. It's great because you can never really get lost. You see that mosque, that is your direction. So we're going to get a taxi back to the hotel now. I've got a little bit of editing to do. So I'm going to do that back at the hotel and just chill for a little bit. And then after that, we have a hot date with a nice sunset. Hopefully a nice sunset bar where I can get a nice little time lapse. We're going to pay no more than 100 dirham for that taxi drive, because that's like nearly 10 quid, and it's honestly, that's like paying way more than you should pay, to be honest. The sun just lifts your spirits, honestly. You feel so good in the heat and the sun. I just kind of want to lie by a pool or just jump in the water right now, because it's just perfect weather to do that. My lips is drying like you wouldn't believe, so I feel a bit like this. Before we left, I said a quick hello to these guys, and this little baby camel is so cute. We got our taxi to drop us off just outside Koutoubia Gardens, which is a lovely spot to relax and enjoy a walk. So this is Koutoubia Mosque, which dates back to the 12th century and is the largest mosque in Marrakesh. Just walking our way through these little gardens that are around the mosque. It's actually really, really peaceful and beautiful around here. Now, you're not allowed to go in the mosque itself if you're non-Muslim. Sadly, we can't go inside, but it's absolutely gorgeous outside. Very, very beautiful architecture and such an iconic symbol of Marrakesh as well. This mosque is such a symbol of Marrakesh and reminds me of the first time I was here back in 2009. Oh, look at it! Hello! I made the mistake of going to that sort of snake dancer thing and forgetting myself for a minute and actually not getting a price before I started videoing. They wanted 400 dirham, which is 40 quid, just for a tick to hold the snake and us to take a little video. So absolutely rip off. And I know here you can barter down, but they were like, okay, 200. I was like, I'm not paying £20 for that. And then we ended up trying to fight for it to be less, and they both said fine, 100. And I said no, so we ended up doing 80, but that's still ridiculous. That's like £7 for that. I mean, very stressful, and it completely takes the joy out of the moment. It doesn't make tourists want to come back and do that. It wasn't just the price, but more about how aggressive and pushy they became, surrounding us and making us feel really uncomfortable. So always get a price before you film to avoid any of this nonsense. As it got cooler, we made our way to a rooftop bar. Our last night with Pete and Dan.
Last night. Oh god, I'm very sunburned to be fair.
Got a nice Casablanca beer though.
Yeah.
I call it a Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Casablanca. I've only had
We've
one.
only had one.
And then there's lovely Daniel there with his shades, looking very sexual.
Shady.
And then there's Tig. So apparently, cheers in Moroccan is Basaha, right?
Basaha, apparently, yeah.
Basaha. Okay, so.
Basaha. Basaha.
Basaha. Ooh. Really didn't work at all. Cheers or Basaha. Something I find really magical about this whole moment of like everyone looking at the sun going down, everyone's kind of united in that sort of appreciating nature, those vibes, and it's just nice. We're all chilling with a beer.
It's lovely wherever you go, it's always like that. The
Get in the
always...
shot.
Hello. Yeah, wherever you go, you always have that, the sunset brings it, whether you're in a bar, whether you're in a desert, whether you're in a coffee shop. Everyone seems to kind of get the cameras out. And
yeah, it brings people together, doesn't it?
I think it does.
And I think it's just really nice because when you're back home, how many people get to sit and watch a sunset? Even though we have one every day.
You don't think of it.
We just don't, we're too busy, we're too caught up in work or whatever, and we just don't, so it's lovely. We chilled together, enjoying our beers and watching the sunset over the city, our last night together in Marrakesh. How amazing is this view? This is such a nice vibe, just chilling on the swing and seeing the mosque behind me. It's just amazing. What a place. Right, time for some food. Daniel went for a salad. I fancied some Western vibes with a pizza, and Tig and Pete went for chicken tagine, which I tried and it was absolutely delicious. After all the food and a cheeky shisha, we said our goodbyes and Tig and me went for a wander around the market. It's crazy here. Doesn't matter what day of the week you come to the markets in Medina, like it's all go every night actually. Monday here now, and it's just buzzing really. Hey. Thank you. Yeah.
is your first time in Morocco.
Third. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
You like Moroccan people, Moroccan
Lovely.
hospitality.
You guys thank you so much.
Bye bye. Bon appétit.
So we've got these fruit drinks. They call it the Moroccan mix. It's got everything in it. The flavours complement each other perfectly. Like the perfect drink to have when you're wandering around the markets. It's so nice and refreshing. So these drinks cost together about £3, £2.50, something like that. Great experience, great juice. See, it's so nice to walk around the markets at night. It's such a different experience than it is in the day. There's music, there's like entertainers, it's like lots of cool stalls and stuff. It's just really nice. We couldn't resist some baklava.
So we got some baklava. This is an almond baklava, and it's really, really tasty and moist. Like some of the most moist baklava I think I've tried. We have a pistachio as well. The pistachio one looks pretty loaded. Really tasty and can't tell it's pistachio. But to be fair, it reminds me of the pistachio butter we tried when we were in Greece. It's really delicious. All of these came to less than £2, £2 British pounds, about 16 dirham or something like that.
Well, that's the end of another day in Marrakesh. Next time, we take a trip to the biggest waterfalls in Morocco, starting at the top and finishing right under the falls, which was an amazing experience. So until next time, guys, take care and we'll see you soon.